We call it Battlefield Labs. Let's build Battlefield together.
Well guys, it looks like we're back. Yesterday, Battlefield Studios, the new collective of EA developers behind the next title, absolutely cooked with a crazy reveal of the game's first pre-alpha footage and launch of their new community test environment. And while we're still missing a huge amount of info, like the game's actual title, it appears that Battlefield will actually be going back to its roots, with the developers talking about destruction, urban combat, a traditional class system, and as you saw from that opening clip, we've even got the classic Battlefield 3 music with soldiers screaming and everything. Now, before we get into it, be sure to hit subscribe and drop a like for all those Battlefield and Delta Force hot takes. And with that being said, let's break down Battlefield's first big reveal and what this could mean moving forward. Now, right off the bat, I gotta preface all this by saying, do not pre-order the next Battlefield and make sure EA confidently earns your money this time around. I'll personally be trying to go into this game with a glass half full mentality. However, we all owe ourselves and the industry the right to hold EA accountable for their product. But with that being said, today's Battlefield news is all positive. Kicking off at 11 a.m. on the American East Coast, Battlefield's social channels all popped off, posting their new 5-minute documentary from behind the scenes on the next Battlefield. The vast majority of the video was spent speaking with developers and getting a peek behind the curtain as key stakeholders like Titanfall creator Vince Zampella spoke about EA's journey to restructure Criterion, Ripple Effect, Motive, and DICE into what they're now calling Battlefield Studios, which sorta reminds me of what they're currently doing with Halo and Halo Studios. But the big takeaways are as follows. First up, DICE is only in charge of multiplayer content. No writing, no narrative, and no single-player content, or at least no real control over those aspects. DICE has low-key been downgraded to a production studio where the devs will be assisting the creation of multiplayer assets, balance, and gameplay. And it's also worth noting that this multiplayer does seem to include all of our favorite gameplay pillars, like squads, classes, and destruction, something the devs constantly harped on, calling it an all-out military experience. Next up, it appears that Motive, the studio behind the Battlefront games, will be tasked with both environmental design as well as single-player content, along with Criterion, who's in charge of narrative stuff as well. Criterion has been called in multiple times in the past to save both Battlefield 5 and 2042, so it's nice to see them be put in charge of one of the game's most important pillars. Being best known for Need for Speed, it'll be interesting to see how Criterion along with Motive will come together to deliver a modern war story, but it's one of the things I'm most excited for. Finally, Ripple Effect, aka DICE LA, will be overseeing the quote-unquote core experience, most likely player progression, monetization, and so on, and has confirmed that Battlefield Portal will be returning. So Battlefield will essentially be divvied up across Ripple Effect, Criterion, Motive, and DICE. Each studio with their own core responsibilities while also being sure to cross-pollinate and share assets across the entirety of Battlefield Studios while under the direction of key producers like Vince Zampella and Byron Bede. But moving into the playtesting, and this is where things get juicy. Kicking off right alongside the stream was the reveal of Battlefield Labs, a new community test environment that's currently taking applications from anyone. The developers say that Battlefield Labs will be an ongoing testing program that will see all sorts of key elements tested, critiqued, and reworked all the way from weapons to destruction. If you want to give it a look, I'll drop the link in the pinned comment, but overall, Battlefield Labs is a welcome and needed improvement. While I don't want to have the game lose its hype with endless months of public betas like some other games, I'm happy EA is accepting playtests as a necessary step to regain public support. Today's entire reveal felt like an apology for the war crime that was 2042. and the devs made sure to mention key talking points like calling it a military experience and a creation of the Battlefield universe. At this point, it feels like EA doesn't really have any other option than to double down on the Battlefield franchise, and this small sliver of gameplay and developer insight is a welcome, if anything, artificial step in the right direction. So, with a true all-out military experience on the way from multiple world-class studios that are hell-bent on answering for the sins of their prior failure, all I can say is, Delta Force, your days may be numbered. For as fun as Delta Force has been and as successful as Black Ops has proven, I'd like to think we may be on the verge of something truly special with the next Battlefield, but there's a lot more to be seen. But drop those comments below and let me know how you're feeling about today's reveal. Are Delta Force and Call of Duty in trouble, or is this just more smoke and mirrors from developers who said the same thing about 2042? For all things Battlefield and Delta Force, stay tuned and subscribe. And as always, thank you guys for watching.